Most people think that confidence comes first. Welcome to the Fear Forward CEO, the podcast for business owners who are ready to build trust, generate referrals, and scale with smart systems and AI. I'm Tonya Gossage, and each week we talk leadership, growth, relationships, visibility, and practical strategies that move forward with confidence. Let's go ahead and get started. Most people think that confidence comes first, that you have to feel ready before you take a step, that the fear has to go away before you can move forward. Now, in my 34 years of business experience, I have never seen that to be more true. Confidence does not come before the move. It comes because of it. And today, I want to talk about what it really means to move forward in your business. Because understanding is one thing that changes everything about how you grow. Now, here's what I've seen over and over in entrepreneurs that I work with. They have an idea, they have the skills, they have the desire, but they're waiting. And what are they waiting on? They're waiting to feel ready. They're waiting to they're waiting for the fear to lift them, and then they're waiting for someone to give them permission. And while they're waiting, the opportunity just moves right on by them. The window closes, and the version of themselves that they were meant to become is going to stay out of reach. This is not a motivation problem. It's definitely a misunderstanding about how confidence actually works. And once you understand it correctly, you'll never wait the same way again. Now, let me take you back for just a moment that changed every single thing for me. Whenever I was working in customer service and as a switchboard operator at the bank, I didn't have a college degree. I had no title worth mentioning, but I walked into the bank president's office one day, and I'll never forget it. He probably has. And I told him, I want to get to the top of this company because I don't have a degree. I have ambition. I have goals, and I don't care what it takes. I just need someone to mentor me. And a manager, I'm not going to mention his name, but this was after I had talked to the president. He called me into his office and he handed me a piece of paper. In fact, I keep it on my desk. Here it is. He handed me this piece of paper and he called it a commitment card. And in fact, on the inside of it, it's called commitment card here at the top. And it's dated February the 6th, 1991. I have held on to this all this time because it has meant so much to me. But he called it a commitment card for personal goals, project deadlines, the price that I'm willing to pay. All these things are on here. What are you grateful for? Your motivation. And then he was like, I want you to sign it and I want you to date it. And then he told me something that I've carried for 34 years. And again, I'll never forget it. I teach this all the time to people. When you arrive every morning, I want you to read it. When you leave every night, I want you to read it. And I don't want you to just read it. I want you to see yourself accomplishing every single thing that you've put on here. I want you to see yourself going through the process. I want you to see yourself physically into those situations. And I want you to do it every single day, every morning, every night. So I took the time and I filled it out. And on one of those lines, under project priorities, I wrote down, unable to put this on paper right now. Because I wanted his job. And I couldn't write that down where he could see it. But I saw it every night every morning for years. I left that bank 34 years later as a director and executive vice president of retail banking and training. Now, during that time frame, I had his position. Now, wow. Did I know at 22 years old I would get there? No. I was afraid every single step of the way. Absolutely, I was. Did I feel ready? Almost never did I feel ready for any position that I took. But I kept moving anyway. And that is what fear forward means. There's some teaching points here, and I want to break these down for you. There's 5 things that I learned about fear forward, and I want you to carry these with you. Point number 1 is fear does not mean stop. Fear is not a red light. It's a signal. It means that you're at the edge of something real. It means that something matters. It means that something would actually change your trajectory. The most significant things that I've ever built, I have to tell you, were built from a place of genuine fear. Leading my first training session, getting on a plane for the very first time, walking into a technology meeting that you'll learn about at some point, and understanding absolutely nothing. It was all over my head. Every one of those moments, they felt impossible before I did them. Every one of those, though, made me exactly who I am today. And point number 2, growth happens in very uncomfortable seasons. Looking back at your own life, the seasons where you grew the most, were they uncomfortable? Were those seasons uncomfortable ones for you? Or were they the ones that were something that was hard, something that was changing, something that required you to become more than who you thought you were? Comfort and growth do not live at the same address. They can't be in the same place. You will have to choose consistently which neighborhood you want to live in, comfort or growth. And point number 3, confidence is built through action, not before it. I was so terrified to lead that first training. I remember it like it was right now. I was so scared I couldn't stand. But the bank president said, "We'll arrange the room like a circle," because he knew I was so nervous. And when it was over, everybody clapped their hands for me. They knew that's what I needed. I don't know if it's because they thought I did a good job or not, but they knew I needed that. And in that moment, something shifted for me. And it was not that fear disappeared, but it was because I moved through it. But confidence, oh my goodness, confidence is a residue. It's what is left over after you've done something hard. You cannot think your way through confidence. You have to work your way through it, act your way through it, lead your way through it. But I know that day started something in me. It stirred something in me. Point number 4, you do not need certainty to move. You just need commitment. And on this commitment card, when I wrote unable to put on paper, next to that very important goal, I didn't have certainty. I didn't have a plan. I had a decision. And that decision was made before I was ready. Before I even had proof. Before I could see that the path was clear. That decision is what set every single thing in motion. And CEOs today, they don't wait for certainty. They make the best decision available with the most important information that they have. And then they move. And point number 5, leading like a CEO means deciding even before you feel ready. And here's what I've noticed in the most successful entrepreneurs that I've worked with. They don't feel more ready than everybody else. They just made peace with the fact that ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. And in the moment when you decide that you're ready, even when the fear is still there, it still has you gripped, that's the moment that you start leading like a CEO that you were building towards. So here's what I want you to take away today, and here's what I want you to do before the next episode drops next week. I want you to write down, what is one thing that you've been postponing because you don't feel ready? Not 5 things, just one thing. The thing that if you did it would actually change the whole direction for you. Write it down. Put a date next to it. And decide that if you're moving towards that thing with the fear, not without it, that it is the fear forward. Looks in practice. That is what fear forward looks like in practice. Write it down. Move towards it with the fear, not without it. And it is available to you right now. Know that. It's available to you, just like it was for me. Look at it every single morning, every single night. Visualize it before you're there, before you're ready, before you have the plan. And if this episode spoke to you today, I just have one ask. Share it with one entrepreneur in your world who has been telling themselves that they need to feel ready first. Because sometimes the most important thing that we can do for somebody that we care about is put a message right in front of them at the right moment. And if you want to go deeper, the Power Connectors community is where we practice all of these things together. That's exactly where we do it. I want to thank you for listening to the Fear Forward CEO. And if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, share it, and leave a review so that more business owners can find this show. And until next time, I want you to build trust, make connections count, and please fear forward. Thank you.